been a long time coming, Laker fans. It has been a long time since the Los Angeles Lakers have started off the season with a victory on opening night. They finally do it. JJ Redick, you son of a you-know-what, because I'm going to keep it YouTube friendly. First head coach to pull this off for the Lakers in an extremely long time. And the league now is on notice as the Los Angeles Lakers start off 1-0 for the first time in 8 years. It's been a long time, guys, and welcome to Lakers Digest. My name is Hunter Pitcoff, where we cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. I'm sure a lot of you might be new to the channel. It's the start of the NBA season. Shout out to those who've been watching our content, though, from day one. We appreciate you guys. And for those who are looking to subscribe to the channel, you better do it now, because 23.7% of you guys have been real ones. You have been subscribed. But 76% of you guys that be watching our content. This is a direct poll from our channel. Our viewers that watch, 76% of you guys are not subscribed. So stop what you're doing right now. Just subscribe to the channel before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's content, which is the Lakers just put the league on notice after a 110-103 victory over the Minnesota Timberwolves on opening night. I am pumped. I mean, you can't really see here, but I got the Laker threads on. I have to. It's opening night. The Lakers are finally 1-0 for the first time since 2016. The curse is finally broken. Oh, God damn. That's a long time. I mean, to put it in perspective, guys, Los Angeles Lakers, the last time they won was in 2016. That's 8 years. They have not won an opening night game. The first game of every season, they have not won in 8 years. The last time they won, to give some perspective here, Julius Randle, who was on the opposite team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, in his debut, was a Laker. It was Brandon Ingram's rookie season. Lonzo Ball was not even a Laker yet. He was still at UCLA. He has yet to play a game for UCLA before the Lakers had last won a basketball game to start off their season. I was in high school the last time the Lakers won an opening season game. It was against the Houston Rockets. It was prime Chris Paul, James Harden days. The second game they actually also won, which was against the Golden State Warriors, and that's when they had Kevin Durant, and he just became a Golden State Warrior. So it was like one of his first games, and the Lakers won that game too. That was the last time the Lakers won an opening night game. And to put it in more perspective, guys, I was in high school, my senior year of high school. I'm 25 years old. Like, I graduated high school. I went through all of college. We saw LeBron James come to the Lakers. Anthony Davis come to the Lakers. It took his own son, Bronny James, to come to the Lakers for the Lakers to finally get a victory. I mean, good, man. That is crazy. That's insane. But it finally happened. And let's talk about this first, because I think that this is probably going to be one of the biggest things that people will remember from this game. Of course, Laker fans will remember breaking the curse, but the real big story is NBA history, LeBron James and Bronny James being the first father-son in NBA history to take the court together. I mean, it has never happened. I predicted on our last video we put out there, me and Okechi were going back and forth, that it was going to happen in the second quarter. I thought it would be early second quarter. It turns out it was about the 4:20-ish minute mark in the game in the second quarter when LeBron and Bronny came in together. It was a really cool moment, guys. I mean, there's a lot of haters out there, a lot of people that, they want to go after LeBron, go after Bronny James. I'm not a father. I've worked with my dad before, not in the NBA, but he used to own a restaurant. I used to work with him. It's a cool moment, and I'm sure for him it was a surreal moment, working with his son, and it's a really cool moment that they share. They're both very appreciative after the fact, and I'm really happy JJ Redick got this done right out the gate. This was not something that I wanted to linger for a very long time. He did it right away. The reports are he was going to do it right away. Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr., baseball legends, they were there. They took a pic with the James father-son duo before the game. And I'm like, all right, if the Griffeys are coming, it's going to happen. And sure enough, it does. And they share that beautiful moment together. Unfortunately, Bronny wasn't able to make a shot, but that's okay. He's probably going to be sent back to El Segundo to play with the South Bay Lakers, where I think that's where he should be right now to really develop, as he's still a pretty raw prospect. But anyway, just a phenomenal moment there. I want to congratulate them for that amazing accomplishment in NBA history and, of course, in their family lineage as well. But let's get what we learned from this opening night. The Lakers win ugly. This was an ugly basketball game. And just kind of show you guys the stats for the Lakers here. I mean, they only shot 44% from the field, 16% from three. I mean, that's a pretty atrocious number. They ended up hitting. Excuse me, it's late, guys. It's 1:30. It's like past 1 a.m. here on my time here on the East Coast. But 84% from the line. They won the free throw battle there against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And it was really the Anthony Davis show. Anthony Davis, 36 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, 3 blocks, only 1 foul, 11 of 23. Wasn't even a pretty game from him, but 13 of 15 from the line. And he just made so many freaking big plays. There were multiple blocks in that game. There was the one against Dante DiVincenzo in the fourth. There's the one against, I believe it was Rudy Gobert, where he just came back in the play. He just made his blocks, like, they were felt around the world. Like, those were big-time blocks, and this performance shouldn't be a shock to anybody, because if you've been watching the Lakers or just basketball over the last, this is year 13 for him, like, Anthony Davis is really good at basketball. It's probably the biggest understatement we're going to make on this channel this year. Anthony Davis is good at ball. The man is an absolute monster. It has been a priority for the Lakers to have him become the best player on this team, and it's really been heading in that direction the last 1.5 seasons, and this really might be the year where it's like, all right, guys, like Anthony Davis, we're going to have to ride him for the regular season and really help preserve LeBron James and help out his minutes, and to, you know, he's in year 22. He's doing stuff that we've never seen before, and it's a big reason why he can play with his son, because he's still playing at this level at this age, and Bronny being able to get to a certain point where he can be in the NBA. I mean, and the fact that LeBron had him at a fairly young age, you know, kind of, it all lined up. But the focus on Anthony Davis here. I mean, the dude is an absolute monster. He was really the reason why they won this game, because nobody else on this Lakers roster really did all that much. I thought Rui Hachimura had a nice game. He definitely is the co-MVP of this game. You know, the second guy who really stepped up for the Lakers, 18 points, 7 of 14 from the field. Thought he had a nice game. 2 steals as well. I think both were off-ball steals, too. One was off the inbound pass, which ended up leading to points. Lakers were great in transition, too. I thought Austin Reaves had a really gutsy performance. 9 rebounds, 4 of them on the offensive glass, which is something that the Lakers really wanted to prioritize this season. Ended up out-rebounding the Timberwolves on the offensive end. If I'm not mistaken here, it was 15-12, and then ended up losing by 1. But honestly, Timberwolves are such a phenomenal rebounding team that, you know, if you're able to out-rebound them just by that much, or be right in the trenches with them. But again, defensively also a really good game from the Lakers. I mean, they only held as bad as the Lakers shot. I mean, the Timberwolves only shot they only shot 31% from 3 and 41% from the field. So this was not a team that really got it going on their end either here. So, you know, I really thought this was a really well-rounded game for the Los Angeles Lakers. It's a gutsy game. It was an ugly game, but the fact that they can win the ugly games is definitely a positive, that this is a team that I'm not concerned about their shooting. I know they really shoot bad opening nights, and this was not an exception, but the fact that this was a top 10 shooting team from 3 last year, whether people, the national media, want you to think that they can't shoot, but they can shoot the basketball. The problem was they didn't have guys who could play offense and defense, but it did seem like that the Lakers were able to have a really good defensive effort. I mean, Anthony Edwards, you can look at the numbers here, really did not have a good game. If you just look at the box score, you're like, oh, all right, he was all right. But, I mean, scoring 27 points on 25 shots, that's a very inefficient game for him. He really didn't get to the line much at all. I mean, the only guy who I honestly was really impressed with was, like, Nikhil Alexander Walker made 3 of 4 from 3, 5 of 7 from the field, 14 points. I mean, for me, he was really the only guy who was a real guy who elevated his game for the Timberwolves this game, whereas the Lakers, I mean, AD was just too much for the Timberwolves. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, and it doesn't have as much to do with the game, but are we really going to sit here and Anthony Davis, probably at this point of his career, who knows, maybe something else changes, he's probably going to retire with no Defensive Player of the Year, despite being one of the best defensive players of his generation. And sorry, Rudy Gobert is going to have 4 and maybe even more. Every time Rudy Gobert plays against Anthony Davis, he gets absolutely demolished. Or any great big man, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Giannis, they destroy Rudy Gobert every time. There are times last year where the Timberwolves had to bench Gobert because defensively it made sense for them. When has a Defensive Player of the Year ever been in that situation? It hasn't happened. You can go back and look at all the great defensive players. They are in the game for defense because Rudy Gobert especially, he has no bag. I didn't even think he had a horrible game, but, I mean, the talent level is insane. And just pure defensively, Anthony Davis is such a better defensive player than Rudy Gobert. He's way more versatile. He comes up with way more bigger impact plays when it matters most. He's just, again, offensively much better than Gobert, but defensively he's much better than him too. I'm sick and tired of this stupid narrative of Rudy Gobert being a great defensive player. Look at Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals last year, where the Timberwolves had their best defensive performance of the entire season against Denver. Denver couldn't do anything against them, and Rudy Gobert did not play in that game. It's one game, but the Timberwolves, as a microcosm, have phenomenal on-ball defenders. They have Jaden McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards. Like, it is not just him. He's a good defensive player. He's not an all-time great defensive player. I don't believe it at all. Basketball games are played on the hardwood. They're not played in the stat sheets. I don't care what the hell his advanced numbers say. Rudy Gobert ain't like that. Anthony Davis is, and that man deserves his flowers, and he had a hell of an opening night. I thought Jason Tatum was going to have easily the best opening night, but Anthony Davis definitely giving him a run for his money as the Lakers, again, propelled themselves to a 110-103 victory. They have a back-to-back coming up too, guys, which is kind of annoying to start off the season. They already have a back-to-back, but maybe it's better now when they have fresh legs than later on in the season. You hope they get rewarded a little bit there, as they're going to be playing 2 division rivals, both the Phoenix Suns on Friday night, and then they're going to be playing the Sacramento Kings on Saturday night. So you hope the Lakers can at least split those and start off the season 2-1. 3-0 would be great, but the fact that they are able to set the tone early, JJ Redick getting his first win early on, I mean, that's something Darvin Ham had to wait a while for. It was Game 6 until he got his first win with the Lakers. And they ended up going 2-10 in their first 12 games of the season. Frank Vogel couldn't ever get an opening night win. Luke Walton couldn't get one. I mean, the Lakers haven't, or he did eventually, but the Lakers just absolutely could not win to save their life. And the curse is broken. They finally win an opening night game, guys. I am so excited. I'm really excited for this season. Lakers with a really gutsy 110-103 win against a team that just went to the Western Conference Finals a few months ago in the Minnesota Timberwolves. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below, too, what you thought of tonight's game. It was not a perfect game. It was not a pretty game, but it was one that the Lakers won, and they can finally start off the season undefeated. And don't look now, but they are the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. And so subscribe to the channel if you haven't, guys. Keep up with everything we got going on here on Lakers Digest.